Well, hello and welcome. Welcome to my world. I mean, our world. Uh,
It never gets old.
It really doesn't, right? Like it never gets old.
so, welcome tonight, folks, to the Black Entrepreneurship Institute live show. I am Cedric LaFleur, one of your co founders, with my fellow co founders, Miss Angela Hooper Minifield
Hello, hello. What's up?
and Dr. Nicole Rankin.
Hello, everyone.
All right. So I am in the great country of Texas. Dr. Nick is in Georgia, and Angela Hooper Minifield. Which country are you in today? Because you always travel.
Y'all got jokes, huh? I promise you, I told Nicole them this today in our boot camp. I said, I think people think I'm in the streets a whole lot more than I really am. But right now I'm in New Jersey and have been for the last 2 weeks.
Okay. Well, all right. You always in the streets. So,
Look, Nicole, he lives in his car.
Oh,
Like
maybe.
really? Like really?
that's just for my fans. I have to let them know that I get out the house, right? But
Mhm. Yeah, tell us anything. Tell us anything.
Hey guys, welcome to the show. We're excited to be here with you again tonight. And today we're going to talk about the BEI Business Bootcamp that's coming up. But we're going to dive into a lot of things tonight, and we want to make sure that you are active and participate with us. So you know what, right on your laptop, your phone, or your computer, you have a comment section. So you can throw us some comments. You can throw us a question, whatever it is you want to throw to Dr. Nick and Angela. Throw them a question. They're ready to answer tonight. Okay.
Did I miss something? If I'm
Right.
not mistaken, I heard throw it to Dr. Nick and Angela.
Well, you see, I'm the moderator, so I can't, answer questions
Oh,
and ask questions.
oh.
Right.
Y'all know what I'm saying.
That's what we're doing tonight. Okay. Okay.
So, ladies, we've been off since June or in July. Um, and are you refreshed? Are you ready to go? Are you ready to get started with another boot camp?
Let's do it. Number
So I
9.
definitely am. My question for you is, what have you been up to since you've been off? So, is it going to be Angela or Dr. Nick going to take that first?
Well, Angela was actually trying to share and had her screen mic muted. So I'll go first, though. Okay. So what have I been up to since we've been off? Well, first I'll say actually that it has been good to get some time back. I can't lie, but I definitely have missed the boot camp, the routine, and it's really been a great opportunity. Oh, look at Lisa. Hey, Lisa. For us to kind of just sit down also. Yes, see my left and my JMT people. So it's been great to be able to kind of just take a time to take a pause. We tell business owners all the time that every now and again, you just need to step back and reassess, look at what you're doing. And so it's given us an opportunity to actually reassess how we structure things, because also the three of us are, we really do have three thriving businesses, and it's something that we're all proud of, but we still have a committed interest in, connecting with people who want to grow their businesses and helping them learn from us. So for me, it's been a combination of, I'm launching a new program later this year. And so just trying to get that all worked out. This will be my first type of launch of this magnitude, as well as I was even telling again our Emerald membership today. It'll be my first time even doing marketing. So looking for cold traffic, using Facebook ads, and working with professionals who know how to do that. So it's given me an opportunity to kind of try and navigate some things, but it's also some of the same types of things, right, Cedric, that our boot campers ask us about, because some of them are looking to try some of those things, and they actually look to the three of us to mentor them and share our experiences so that they can learn from them. So I guess the synopsis is I've been trying some new stuff so I can get some new experiences so I can share it.
All right. And she's been on, a lot of airplanes. Every time we call her, well, what are you doing? Well, I'm about to take off. Well, they're telling me the gate's about to close. I'm on a private jet here. I don't know.
Cedric, you need a whooping. Cedric, you need a whooping. You really need a whooping. You know that. But for the record, I am going to Atlanta Friday. I'm just saying. But anyway, go on.
See what I'm
me
saying?
and Dr. Nick gonna try to hook up this weekend. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, all right. I can't get on planes because y'all always on planes. They say we all booked up. So, Dr. Nick, what have you been up to since we've been home?
Wow. A lot. I've kind of, I guess more so as a personal thing. I like Angela, giving time to kind of reflect. I started my fitness journey back again. So I reclaimed some time and decided to get up off my couch and get my butt moving. Okay. So been committed, literally. Been doing some new things to increase my just fitness activity and just be committed to a healthier lifestyle. So that has been major because I know that was a missing part of the piece. Even a lot of entrepreneurs, we work so hard, but neglect that self-care and just health, period. So I really needed to be focused on that. So I took the time that we had to say, I can't tell people to get their life together and show them how to be better if I'm not my best self as well. So definitely just taking this time to refocus, and it's been going well. I've been so excited. Even visited my parents and my mom. She always got something to say, but today she was like, "You lost some weight." I said, oh, but then she followed up with something negative. So I was like, okay, gotta go.
You're just calling mama out all that. Look, mama gonna get you.
Gotta love her. But the fact that she recognized my efforts, it was great. So I'm on the right track. And as far as business, just doing some new things, building some new relationships. Got a partnership with the National Institute of Staff and Employee Organizational Development. So going to be a speaker there. My courses have been approved for CEUs. Doing some more things with my young adults and my millennial groups. We have some courses and some summits coming up. So still been off, but busy at the same time.
I hear you. Definitely understand. Well, I've been just sitting around at the house watching y'all.
Okay, so let me run the
Everybody know that's not true.
Look, Nicole, let's run the inventory. How many new certifications have you gotten since?
Even our new watchers know that's not true.
Look, the new watchers, he didn't got his courses launched in companies. His book is probably a bestseller on the New York Times by now. Right. He done built this $1 million house on the lake. Like what?
On the beach. On the beach.
Yeah, I have been doing a few things, just a little bit. But it was actually good for us to have this summer off and relax. Although, definitely put some new programs out. Definitely did some different certifications, working with some new school districts and did a pretty good thing with a school district last week. Just finalized a deal with another school district today. So, we're loving business and it's going well. And the mentoring part of helping entrepreneurs in this leadership development space has been going really well, helping them develop their soft skills training courses, their LMS system, and that part has just been phenomenal, and I'm excited about that part. where I'm able to help these entrepreneurs understand how to maximize their potential in their business. So that's been going good. But yeah, I was sick for a while, had COVID. I had to go have a surgery, healing up. I'm sitting in a hotel here in Austin, and we're going to be doing an 8-hour workshop tomorrow, and then a couple of workshops in Louisiana on Thursday. And then Friday, you know what I do on Friday? Chill.
Mhm. But you know, it's funny. You gave me a hard time about staying in them streets. I bet if we checked hotel receipts, you done stayed in more hotels since we've been on break than I have.
Yeah,
Right.
let's just say the Marriott and I are really good friends.
Exactly, exactly.
So we're excited about tonight, guys, and we're excited about what we're going to talk about with you this evening. And again, what we want to make sure that you um, um, tune in tonight for our business boot camp that's coming up. We're going to be talking about that tonight. But right before we dive into that, there's been some things that's going on with entrepreneurs, excuse me, in 2022. And there's been some, not necessarily some shifts, but there's been some activity. And we're going to talk about two of those things here tonight. And the first one, Angela, I just want to, talk with you about this a little bit, is the shift in personal and professional priorities, really since COVID. But 2022, since the world is opening back up, if you will, fully, there's been this shift, right?
Yeah, you know that monkeypox. I don't know, but we gonna keep rolling.
Yeah. Yes.
Right. Stay in my bubble.
But no, Cedric, you're exactly right. There's definitely been a shift in personal and professional priorities. And for a lot of people, what has happened is the pandemic helped people to understand maybe more at a conscious level, because I know that we always know it, but the fact that life is really short and health and fulfillment are more important than just climbing the corporate ladder. Even in the HR space where, I hang out most of my time, they talk about the great resignation. And so what it really speaks to is this fundamental shift in mindset that has led to growth in the number of entrepreneurs. So what we've seen is that there are scores of top employees that have left their jobs and they've gone to seek positions where they feel valued, connected, and purposeful. So if you can create and sustain that type of corporate culture, then organizations can begin to realize that these are the type of places that people will come to work. But definitely COVID woke a lot of people up. And I can honestly say that even though I was already in this space of entrepreneurship before COVID, the way I look at things and the way I experience things is very different. And for some of us too, I'll even add, it was because of the loss of so many lives. And many of us did lose people, me included, not to COVID. But yeah, it's a shift in mindset. And so the world needs to adjust accordingly.
Absolutely. It's actually been a really good thing for entrepreneurs,
Mm-hmm.
right? People
Yeah.
leaving, like I said, people leaving corporate America and trying to figure out what things they're going to do. They really want to feel valued, appreciated, right? And a lot of times it's leading to them starting their own business,
Yes.
uh, consulting business, some product, some service. I've been seeing a lot of new entrepreneurs in the franchise space in terms of restaurants,
Yep.
right?
Well, so many clothes,
And
right?
yeah,
So there's space now
There's
for that.
need. There's need.
yes, absolutely. And also the larger franchises are making it possible
Mm-hmm.
for some new entrepreneurs to come in this franchise space. So yeah, it's a wonderful shift that's happening. So Dr. Nick, um, also in this 2022 year, it's going to be interesting the way we look back at 2022 in 2023. What we're going to say about it, but there's been this transformational change in terms of nature of space in here, and talk about that a little bit, and the trend that's happening, and what that really means.
Yeah. So the trending transformational nature of space, it really has many meanings. But first, I want to talk about the technology space, because that is huge. You know, we see people using technology to connect with people around the world, right? So the connectivity piece is growing, and it's largely due to the 5G and just the internet. Like, you can reach a country just by a hit of a button, right? And you can be in another continent and reach people there and add value to them. So there are faster speeds, which offer room for innovation in mobile devices and healthcare and business and just really other industries. So when you think about like the retail industry, you know, the reality is that it's a potential, like you can stimulate a virtual setting, a virtual shopping experience that's really indescribable from an in-store experience. So that whole idea of using space and how we use space with technology in this virtual world is amazing, and it just leads to more options and more opportunities for entrepreneurs and business owners to think outside the box, right? And to think of how you can grow your business and expand your reach and expand your influence. And another thing, when we think about space, there's an expanding space between people doing work for companies, and not talking about social distancing, but the big companies, right? They're now hiring independent contractors to address some of the problems with recruiting. And Angela talked about the Great Resign. So there are a lot more opportunities out there that abound for entrepreneurs who are seeking clients. So I think this is a time for entrepreneurships to start thinking outside of the box and thinking about how can we grow our business and look at the trends and what's happening and be a part of it on the front end, rather than being late and seeing the train take off and you're not on it.
Yeah, man, that train is going. I wish I was on that.
It looks like it's doing good.
Look, I got a ticket. Wait.
I heard y'all was coming, but I was doing something else. You know?
Exactly.
Taking a nap.
It is interesting, and it's amazing when you talked about these big companies who are hiring these independent contractors, right? So imagine you were working for one of these big companies, and then all of a sudden you're not there, but they hire you back as an independent consultant, right? Generally, that means that you're probably making a little more money, a lot more money as that consultant coming in, right? Now you don't have all the healthcare and all that type of stuff. However, because of this consulting contract, and if you get a consulting contract with a bigger company, man, guess what? That's normally can sustain you for a good while, because they don't just bring you in for, one and done type deal, right?
Correct.
So as people are out there who are listening, as you think about what are you going to do next, think about services that at your corporation they need. Think about the services that they're bringing consultants in for, right? Can you do that? Can you do it better? Right? There's your opportunity to start your business. There's your opportunity to, Dr. Nick and Angela said it, think outside of the box and think a little bit different. One of our people that's listening said remote working space has exploded, and that supports the entrepreneurs as well. Absolutely. 100%.
Yes, Cedric, I just want to add a point of, hey, B Jack, I see you. Thanks for joining. But, your point is well taken. So back when I was with the government, and I had already started like creating trainings and doing stuff inside, right? But not getting any extra money, and it wasn't my job. And then I would watch them bring these outside trainers in. They were paying them $2,000 and $3,000 a day back then. And that's when I was like, well, wait a minute. Look, that's when that thing started clicking in my head. I was like, wait a minute. They paying me my regular old salary. I make that 2 weeks. This chick come in here and work for one day and she make more than I make, at least in a week, maybe not 2 weeks, but definitely a week.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, yeah. And they pay their travel. Like they were doing all this for these contractors. And so that's when I was like, yeah, I can still work with the government as a trainer, but I don't need to still be a government employee to do it.
Absolutely agree with you wholeheartedly. Yes. So see, we're here to try to help give you some other ideas and alternatives to thinking through starting a business, right? Now, we're also here if you're already an entrepreneur, if you are thinking about being an entrepreneur, or if you are just getting started and you don't know what to do. The Black Entrepreneurs Institute is here to help you with what we call our BEI Business Bootcamp. Now, we're going to dive into this tonight, but here's what I want you to understand. You see, because sometimes it's just a nature. We get hung up on the word Black. Okay. Look, it's an entrepreneur institute, right? We focus on helping Black and brown entrepreneurs, but every entrepreneur can be involved. Every entrepreneur can learn. Every entrepreneur can grow. And the last time I looked, money is green. And you want to make more money, right? And we want to help you make more money, right? It says right on the bottom of the screen, we're equipping business owners to elevate their mindset and their money, right? We're trying to create win-win situations. You win by registering and coming to the boot camp. We win by getting you to register and come to the boot camp. It's a win-win proposition. So let's dive into talking about this business boot camp, which is coming up here in a couple of weeks. We're gonna tell you when it's going to start here shortly. But Angela, so you were the brain trust behind the BEI Business Bootcamp. So how did we get started with the BEI Bootcamp? Or our better question is, what gave you the idea that this is needed?
So for me, it was a couple of things. I walked away from my job in January of 2017, and I had a plan, and the plan was working well, but a couple other things happened in the early stages, two of which was I moved 2 times. And so it was literally like, because again, this was before the world was as mobile. So people were wanting business counterparts or partners who were local. So I kept going to new places where I knew it didn't know anyone. So I had to learn certain lessons over and over. And I had finally gotten to a point where I felt like I had a groove and I really knew what I was doing, and I was having consistency. I wasn't being what I like to call the one-hit wonder kind of thing. You get a big contract and you dance and then you're happy, and then you're in famine for 6 months. So
You mean Stacey Lattisaw of music, you mean?
She had look, you can't discount her hits with my boy Johnny Gill. Like she had some by herself and some with Johnny.
Okay, all right.
Look, okay, we finna go way back 80s. Me and Cedric. Nicole, I know you too young for this.
Yeah, she don't know about that. She's Googling Stacey Lattisaw right now.
I don't know who that is, but I know Johnny Gill.
I know she didn't. See, we knew you didn't know. We knew you didn't know. The song is Perfect Combination, by the way. But I digress. So,
and if Stacey is listening, I just want you to know I'm joking. I love you, girl.
I don't know that. I got to Google them.
But I was wanting some consistency, and just up leveling certain skills, like things that really kept me squeamish in the beginning, sales and figuring out how to even identify myself. We talk about elevator pitches, like all these things. And so over time, now I'm rocking and rolling. But the other thing that I realized that really helped me grow was my inner circle. Who was I talking to, thinking with, running ideas off of? And every time I was in these circles, I just walked away better. Like I knew without a doubt that I was better as a person and as a business owner and as a, speaker, trainer, coach, and all these things. And so then it became, now that I'm making some headway, how do I pay it forward? Because what I also knew was I would love to help somebody else not make some of the mistakes I made. And so I really did. I began to pray about it because the other thing was I had never really collaborated, not at this kind of level. And, because, oftentimes we don't want to delegate or collaborate because we're thinking nobody else can do it the way we do it or as good as us. But what I realized, and this is all through the leadership, and we're all Maxwell coaches as well, John talks about that, in order to have significance, we got to do things with other people. One is too, small a number for significance, right? We need other people. And so I then began to say, okay, if I wanted to learn from some of the best at doing what they do, and who are those people that have helped me, then let me see if they would be interested in doing that thing with me. And so, yourself, Cedric, like you and I have been talking, and like when I would do workshops, I'd call you and get feedback. You have been that person for me. And we talk about things and you'd call me, and we were just building relationship and rapport. So I picked up the phone. I was like, I don't quite know what it looks like. I don't quite know what it's going to be, but this is what I want the impact to be. And, being the D that you are, I didn't have to say much.
She's talking about the D on the disc scale, by the way. So
yes, the D on the disc scale. Yes, the get it done, the direct person, decisive, doesn't deliberate long. He don't need a whole lot of ancillary details to get it done. I said, Cedric, I believe together, because Cedric's out here killing it too. Right? I was like, I believe that we can build something. And again, I said, I don't know what it looks like. And Cedric's like, I'm in. And I was like, okay, great. I was like, well, I'm thinking 4 is a number. Maybe that's a round number because we don't want it too big, right? And Cedric you've done work with Dr. Nick, right? And so you said, well, I know who I would like to bring to the table. Me and Dr. Nick got on the phone call. I was on vacation, like with one arm up in the air trying to get a reception because the reception was so bad in Phoenix at a resort, trying to talk to Nicole in the car. Like I said, one leg stuck out, a hanger. But we did the call because we were like, we want to start in January. Mm-hmm. Little did we know, this was January 2020. We had no idea what was coming, right? Dr. Nick, same thing. Now, Dr. Nick is not high D as on disc. She needed to think.
I needed a day.
She needed a day. She was like, well, give me a day. And I was like, dang, I got to go out there and hang my arm out the car again. But okay. So I gave Dr. Nick a day.
Angela Hooper mini feet.
I think she Googled me to make sure I was like legit, even though we had kicked it in Costa Rica, by the way. I'm just saying. But she said yes. And then Damien was the third person I asked to make out our foursome. And immediately we just jumped in, and it was just so powerful. And we all had different skills, different assets. And, now, and like I said, right behind that, COVID happened. So the timing couldn't have been more perfect, because we created a space and a place for entrepreneurs to come and grow and stay connected and grow their businesses when the rest of the world was closed and shut down. So yeah, it just timing wise. And then, and now when you look back on it, it was divine, right? It was meant to be. It really was. Mm-hmm.
Yes, absolutely. D's on the disc scale, we make up our mind, like we hear an idea, we like it, boom. There's no point in thinking about it. Let's just run.
Yeah, it was almost like, "Why you still talking?" I said yes. I was like,
yeah. When we get
started, Cedric, Nicole talked to me for an hour and then took a day.
So we're going to do what, and how is that going to go?
Look, Cedric, I thought she was interviewing me. I was like,
she's putting you in her spreadsheet. So
decide which of her email addresses she was going to let me have.
Yeah, exactly.
Nicole, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have went there because Lord knows I got a ton of email addresses.
It be your own people. It be your own people.
I couldn't resist because Cedric is always teasing us about having all these email addresses. I'm sorry, Nicole. Forgive me
so
all right.
But just so folks, just so you know, right? A part of when you come to the BEI Bootcamp, You see how we're laughing, and you're going to have a good time, because
Oh,
we
yeah.
do this during the camp as well. It's not, if you want a stuffy camp,
Don't come.
you got to go next door. Right? If you want a camp where people connect, they get involved with each other, they love being around each other, then this is the boot camp you want to be. If you want to know how to learn and grow and enjoy it, then this is where you come. If you want mandatory fun, go next door. All right. So, Dr. Nick, what made you decide to, after an hour and a day, what made you decide to go ahead and come and grow with us?
Well, after the hour and the day, I think for me, it was a reflection, because I think at the time when I talked to Angela, I was still working, I believe. I hadn't made my full transition yet, but I knew I wanted to. But I was still I was working and doing workshops and kind of starting to build at that time. And I just was reminded of my own experience and, going from networking events, because that's what they told me we had to do. You're an entrepreneur, you got to go to networking events. I was like, okay, great. I'll go to some networking events. So I started going to networking events, and networking event after networking event, and investing time and investing money, and everybody had the solution, and they were going to help me build my business, and I was going to do this and do that. And when the smoke cleared, I was still at the same place. And I'm like, this can't be right.
Girl, did you miss the train?
I guess I did, because after the smoke cleared and all that, everybody just doing that, it was like nobody was really truly helping and putting in that effort. It was just a lot of smoke and whistles, right? So when you all came and Angela laid out the vision and just the mission and what her vision was, I was like, this is great, because at that point it's like I've gone through some things, and everybody shouldn't have to go through this. Like, people, we talk about helping people, especially within our culture, and just, being there for one another. And as a woman of faith, I believe in that. And the more you help people, this is what we're here for. And so just having the thought about being a part of a team of people like yourselves who not only have a heart to help people, but have been successful in doing the things and not just all smokes and whistles, I was like, yes, let's do this. And so just being able to provide information to help people, to meet people where they are, help them take them to the next level. And that's just something I wish I had in my journey. So I was sold and just really committed to the mission, and just to see the growth from that our phone call and day to where we are now. It's just been tremendous. Just an amazing experience.
Yes, absolutely. And now we've gone through 8 boot camps?
Yes.
Yeah. And just so you know, it's not like it's a boot camp every week. Boot camp is an intensive 8 weeks long. So we've gone through 8 of those and had plenty of graduates in those. So, people buy from people they know, like, and trust, right? So let's give the audience a little bit. Now, we don't have to go all the way back to, the beginning when Jesus came down for our careers, but let's just give people a little snapshot. Hey, folks, I have to say that because, I'm working here with the people that they have some long careers. And, I say, give me a resume, and they give me 17 pages. I'm not talking about that, right?
Just 3.
Yeah, I think mine's only 3 pages.
I cut it down to 3.
You know what I'm saying? And mine's 1. A half a page at that. Let's give people a little bit of understanding of our background, right? So that they know that, hey, you have something here where you have some experience, some knowledge that you can teach them, and they can learn some stuff from you. So, Dr. Nick, why don't we start with you? What did you do before you became an entrepreneur?
Yeah, so before I became an entrepreneur, I spent 20 years in research science. So I served as a microbiologist working in the labs in academia and government. But later on in my career, I spent almost a decade as a quality management quality manager. So I was providing leadership to over 100 scientists for continual quality improvement. And so with that experience, little did I know, was preparing me for entrepreneurship, where we're talking about building systems and processes and protocols. So those are the things that I was trained in, and now I take that knowledge and take that experience and expertise into my business and helping other people build those systems that they need for quality improvement in their businesses.
Okay, well, that is awesome, folks. Let me tell you what. So, see, Dr. Nick is one of those people that earned that doctor. You see that?
Say it again.
That's right. That's all right, Nicole. I ain't hating, but I'm gonna get me one, and it ain't gonna be the way you got it.
We're gonna talk about it today. We're gonna talk about some honorary degrees.
So, Angela, tell us, what's your career background?
So I immediately out of college started with the federal government. I like to refer to my government career as the true epitome of working your way from the bottom to the top. In federal service, when you enter, the lowest professional grade you can come in at is a GS5. When I got hired, I was a GS5 step 1, literally the lowest grade. And when I left 28 years later, I was a 15 step 10, the highest civilian grade and level you could be. So I did it all. I worked in every department. I've managed teams. I started managing as young as 23, 24. Like I said, through the years, as I began to see gaps, I began to take trainings and courses and things to figure out, how do I make us better? And as a result of that, I have 2 HR certifications. I'm a senior professional human resources with the 2 global HR certifying organizations. And I use that, though, to make government better. So that was creating performance metric systems, doing skill gaps analysis, creating and designing training, and doing it in a way that it wasn't cookie cutter. And as a result of it, I was able to do a cultural transformation within our organization. And so that's the kind of work that now I do for the companies that I work with. But in addition, DEI, civil rights, sexual harassment, like I am a very well-seasoned trainer. But the other thing is, because I did transition and it was an intentional decision, I've walked that journey too. So I'm very process driven like Dr. Nick. And some of the things that I'm able to help people do is leverage their thinking, their opportunities. I'm an excellent thinking partner. You sit down with me and we can, strategize. You'll walk away with so many new business ideas. You'll be like, oh my gosh, Angela, this is like crazy. So those are some of my strengths. I've gotten really good at understanding niche and helping people figure that out for themselves. So many entrepreneurs struggle with that. They want to help everybody. You say, what do you do? Well, I just want to help people. I'll be like, who people? I don't know them. Like, I don't even know how to refer you because I don't know who people is, right? And they don't get it and they get frustrated. But that's part of the reason why they're not getting into business. Nobody reads their message and sees themselves in it. And so these are some of the talents and skills that I have cultivated through the years that have helped me tremendously as a business owner, but how I'm able to help other people. And I think, one of my greatest strengths is my analytical thinking and being those eyes that can look at your business in a way different than others. I'm also, quality control in some ways, right? That's the C in Dr. Nick and I, right? Like we see, what other people don't see. And so it's often funny. Sometimes you probably have seen it, like when we even boot campers say, Angela, when you look at my webpage, I said, do you want me to look at it or do you want me to look at it? Because sometimes all people want you to do is say, oh, great job. I'm so glad you got your page up. And then sometimes they really want the critical eye. So I just always want to know what the expectation is so I can give it to them. But that would be the biggest part of my work experience. And currently, like Dr. Nick, do adjunct work as well at St. Joseph's College, which has now just changed its name to St. Joseph University, but it's still HR. And so the other thing that also lends me to be able to do is, because I have such a strong HR background, as our business owners, businesses grow, and they need to hire people and figure out how to create even systems and metrics and performance appraisals and onboarding. I can help them with those things too.
Yes. Well, I'll tell you, my background, I'm a clinical scientist by degree and certification. And I spent 10 years, first 10 years of my career managing hospital labs, and then left there and decided to go and make some money. Hospitals want you to have initials behind your name, but unless you're the doctor, they don't want to pay you. And I wasn't having none of that. So I went and joined Abbott Laboratories and spent the last 22 years there running. Part of my time there, I was in charge of our largest product line and global marketing organization. And then I spent the last 14 years running part of a sales organization, a sales unit for Abbott. And all of that time in my 30-year career, I always had some type of side business. Never was multi-level marketing. It was some type of business that I was doing. That's just a part of my nature, my DNA. And so that helped me really get to where I'm at today. And I use those experiences to share with entrepreneurs. When they're struggling with things, when they're trying to think through things, I think about some of the experiences I had and what worked well, what didn't work well, and then we try them. All right. So that's just a little bit about me. So let's talk about this boot camp. So Angela, when is the boot camp, and how can people get registered for the boot camp?
So the boot camp, our fall semester, we operate like colleges and universities. All that adjunct stuff done rubbed off on me and Dr. Nick. So our fall cohort, fall 2022, fall semester starts September 13th. That's the second Tuesday in September. And you can enroll by going to www.blackentrepreneurinstitute.com/enroll. ENROLL. Another thing that you can do is this next week for 5 days, Monday through Friday, I will be doing short Facebook Lives and inviting people to join me on a webinar. We're having a webinar on Sunday, the 21st at 2:00 p.m. And it's titled The Top 5 Mistakes Most Wannabe Entrepreneurs Make and How to Avoid Them, right? Because what we know is there's just some common missteps that people make. So if we can't do anything else for you, what we want to do is help you avoid those as you think about whether that's your transition or maybe you've started already and you're not getting the traction. It could be you're stuck in common mistakes. So we're going to talk about those. And then, of course, for those who are in the room and who attend the webinar, I'm not saying, Cedric, but perhaps there may be a discount offer to enroll in the boot camp. Just might be.
Well, hey, I love discounts, so I might have to go register myself. So there you have it. Webinars coming up. The top 5 mistakes that entrepreneurs make, Sunday, August 21st. And you can register for the webinar at blackentrepreneurinstitute.com/webinar. And you also have a link there where you can register for the boot camp itself.
That's right. Because if you already know you're ready, just come on.
Let's do it.
You don't even have to wait for the webinar, right? Just come on. And then send me a message and say, Angela, I enrolled, and who knows, we might take care of you. We might just take care of you anyway. Just because you were like Cedric, you were decisive, you didn't deliberate, you made a decision. Because Napoleon Hill says, right? You make decisions quickly and seldom do you go back from them, right? So if you're that person, you're like, I don't have to wait till the 21st. I'm ready. We can take care of you too.
Absolutely. So Dr. Nick, when someone registers for the BEI Business Bootcamp, what are they signing up for?
I think they're signing up for a transformative experience. And that's what I've seen through the entrepreneurs that come in. And it's entrepreneurs, no matter where they are in their business cycle. You can be a budding entrepreneur. You can just say, I got an idea that I want to explore. You can say, hey, I've been in business for almost 20 years. And we've had them all come through the boot camp. And what I've seen is that they sign up, but they leave not only growing in knowledge of their business, but just changes in mindset of the values and just the thought processes that they've had before the boot camp. And so each week, it doesn't matter what the topics that we have are amazing. And so each week that we've gone, we've seen entrepreneurs get that aha moment. Like everybody has an aha moment, and it could be different for everybody else. So just think about you're getting an aha moment, something that's going to take your business to the next level for 8 weeks straight. Just think about what can happen to your business. I mean, so that I think is that transformative experience and just real life application that people get. That's when you sign up. And that's what's missing in a lot of programs. But in BEI, we're here to help you for real, for real.
So can I just add one thing to that?
Sure.
They also get family.
Yeah.
Yes. We are for real family. Look, all you gotta do is look at me at that engagement party. I jump off plane, run the party, right? Because when your family's got something going on, you got to show up, right? We're family. We're family. Like, I don't believe any of us wouldn't do anything for anybody in our community. And I think that goes all levels, from us to them to each other, up, down. We're family.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. 100% agree with you with that. You know, we only have a few more minutes left, and we want to make sure that we help people understand when they come to the boot camp what they get. So I'm going to rapid fire through these things, but then I'll let Dr. Nick kind of tell us those comprehensive topics that we'll cover. But so the question is, you know, yes or no for you guys. Do they learn how to register their business?
Yes.
Yes.
Right. Do they get a better understanding of how to negotiate?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Do they lose the fear of selling?
Yes.
Right. Do they get concepts on putting their business plan together?
Yes.
Now, do they get a mentor? Do they get a business coach?
Yes.
See, all a part of this process, folks, is to help you elevate your mindset and your money. And with all of these things, those are the things that are important for you in your business. And that's what you're going to get for this boot camp. So, Dr. Nick, you know, the boot camp is 8 weeks long, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Tell our boot campers, you know, a little bit about some of the topics that we cover.
Certainly. I'll try to make it fast. So, like, we start off at the beginning, laying the foundation, right? So there are certain things that businesses need to survive that a lot of entrepreneurs don't even think about. So we talk about what is that, those things that you need for laying a foundation. Then we go into finding your niche. Like, as Angela said, people say, come to the boot camp and say, I just want to help everybody. But if you help everybody, you help no one. So we help you hone in, find that ideal client. Who's your competition? What problems do you solve? Then we go into branding, because you need to be on social media. People need to know what you do. So we help with branding. Then we go into talking about that money, moving the commas, right? Because that's what we want to elevate, not only your mindset, but your money. So talk about pricing, talk about how to get that exponential and explosive growth with your money. Then we get that sales part that tricks everybody up, that says, I'm not a salesperson. But we show you the pillars of sales and how to be an influencer and really share what you have and just get comfortable with sales. Then we talk about that discovery meeting, you know, that meeting that person says, yes, I want to hear more about your business. Well, what are you going to say? What are you going to do? You know, what questions are you going to ask? So these are the things that we talk about. We talk about the art of negotiation. When you're ready to sign that contract and you know how much money you want to make, or you don't know, how do you secure your pricing? How do you do all of that? We talk about that. And the last, we talk about some pitfalls, because we need to know what we're up against. And so we don't get blindsided, and so we can understand what are some of the obstacles that we may face, so we can be prepared. So when they come, it's not an obstacle, because you have already talked about that, right? So we go through this 8 weeks of not only teaching, but we have application as well. And there's so much more, that bonuses and things that we get. So like I said, you just got to sign up. You don't want to miss the train.
Absolutely. You don't want to miss the train. So, folks, we have enjoyed our time with you this evening, but, Paul Martinelli is letting us know that it's time for us to exit stage left.
You ain't got to go.
I got
But
the big hook. I got the big
go.
hook.
We don't have to go
You ain't
home. We
got to
just
go
got to get
home,
on
but-
out of here. So, thank you guys for tuning in. We hope that we see you on Sunday, August 21st for the webinar. And we hope definitely that you go ahead tonight or tomorrow and register for the boot camp. I can guarantee you it's an investment you don't want to miss. Thank you guys. Good night, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.